screaming. They won it by 4 in the end.
American Anthem has taken off. American Anthem easily in the Woody Stevens.
Welcome to Spa Babies, presented by WinStar Farm. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and Wednesday's Spa Baby event is the 6th at 5.5 furlongs. Let's take a look at this field of New York-bred maiden special weights. This race for 2-year-old fillies. And Nicole, we've got several coupled entries. Kendrick Carmouche listed on both the 1 Trouble for Skylar, the 1A Tyler's the Boss. Angel Arroyo listed on both the 2 Breath of Dawn and the 2B Terrificville. One of these two are going to scratch.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's a big field. It's a well-matched field. So some tricky decisions, I think, for those riders. And you should definitely pay attention to that in your handicapping when you see the changes for Wednesday's card.
It's a really interesting race. You've got a few horses with some racing experience, several well-bred first-time starters. And we'll begin in post-position order, down towards the inside with the number 4, Climb the Ladder, who is by a WinStar regional stallion, Bellamy Road. Climb the Ladder had a disastrous career debut, so to speak.
Yeah, she reared at the start of her debut and wound up being declared a non-starter. She ran for purse money only, but she bounced back from that kind of disastrous first experience in the afternoon to turn in a nice work at Belmont a week after that for trainer Tom Morley. She's getting a big rider upgrade to Irad Ortiz, and I think she's eligible to move forward here.
As you see, Bellamy Road was 3rd among New York's leading 2-year-old sires. The dam was a sprint winner. She's also a half to a stakes winning sprinter. And that second dam was Pentelis, a pretty quick one, a multiple stakes winner as well. So this filly has license to be quick. Boy, I'm sure Tom Morley didn't want to see this one get the rail post position after rearing at the start. It can be a claustrophobic and intimidating place for a young 2-year-old. Hopefully Climb the Ladder breaks well, because if she does, she has a positive Tom Morley formulator fact in her corner. Over the past 2 years, with 2-year-old second-time starting dirt sprinters in maiden specials, Morley's 3 for 8 with a $5.89 return on investment. You mentioned the rider switch. Irad Ortiz takes the mount at 6-1. The number 5 is Burning Rose, a first-time starter by Freud. And when you think New York breds, you think Freud.
Yep. Freud, the state's perennial leading sire, even as the state's stallion ranks have gotten deeper and more competitive. He's currently 2nd on the 2-year-old sire list. This one, Burning Rose, has got 2-year-old ability on the bottom as well. She was a stakes-winning juvenile, and her first 2 dams both won at 2 and are stakes producers themselves. Flying Chevron, a very good broodmare sire of several good 2-year-olds, including Champion Indian Blessing. So this one really bred for some early success.
You make a very good point about Flying Chevron being an extremely underrated broodmare sire. And going over the debut reports on DRF.com, Flying Chevron as a broodmare sire does very, very well with first-time starters. Perhaps Burning Rose has inherited some of that precocity. Trainer Dominic Schettino, another underrated trainer with 2-year-old first-time starters. Rajiv Mirage has the mount 8-1 on the morning line for the 5, Burning Rose. Let's talk about the 6, Superstone. And we've mentioned several times this summer already that horses with experience have a huge edge over these first-time starters in baby races. Superstone took a lot of money in her career debut, and she showed a bit of speed.
Yeah, after a troubled break, she got up there, raced in the mix before weakening late to finish 6th. I think she can definitely move forward off that experience. It's so hard for 2-year-olds to recover off a poor break in these sprint races when everything is so new to them. And horses with some experience, I think, definitely might merit an edge on the Saratoga track. We've seen the first couple of days of the meet. So Superstone, another one, definitely eligible to move forward here.
Really strong pedigree on this one, a half-brother to Mr. Z, who won the Ohio Derby but was an early 2-year-old as well, as hardy as they come. And then you see these long-distance turf horses on the bottom, Chief Bearheart, Explosive Red, a really wonderful combination of speed on top, class and stamina on the bottom. I would expect good things from Superstone in this spot. Now let's talk about the number 1, Trouble for Skylar. This is a filly by Into Mischief, and she was kind of a big-ticket item, a $92,000 weanling that sold up all the way up to $225,000 last year.
Yeah, and Into Mischief was last year's leading juvenile sire. He's a rising young stallion, and as we've noted with Trouble for Skylar, his progeny are gaining additional notice in the sale ring as a result. This one also a nice family on the bottom side, half to stakes winner. Flattery will get you into another stakes placed runner.
The dam won a couple of sprints. This filly can be fast, and I really like that workout back in early July at Belmont. A half mile over the training track in 47 and change. Our ace clocker crew noted that it came in company with an older runner, a horse capable of running Beyer speed figures in the mid-60s. And while trainer Danny Gargan is not exactly known for winning first time out, he has started one debut runner this year. That one was ridden by Kendrick Carmouche, owned by Midwest Thoroughbreds, and won and paid $16. I'm expecting Trouble for Skylar to give a very good account of herself in her career debut, 3-1 on Travis Stone's morning line. The number 2, Breath of Dawn, did not have an easy trip in her career debut. Tell us a little something about her young stallion, Heavy Breathing.
Well, Heavy Breathing, this is his first crop, and what's very interesting, especially looking at these New York breds, he's a full brother to Frost Giant, who a couple of years ago established a freshman sire earnings record for the state of New York. He led the juvenile sire list last year, so his horses are running early, and I think Heavy Breathing might be a sneaky good juvenile sire as well.
This dam won 3 sprint races, and Breath of Dawn is a half to 2 stakes-placed runners. And you have to remember, she made her career debut at Monmouth against open foes. The runner-up of that race, Beau Arts, shipped to Saratoga, moved to turf, dropped in with New York breds, and it made all the difference. She was able to win up here at the Spa. Trainer Russell Cash has a winner already this Saratoga meet. Perhaps Breath of Dawn at a nice price with that experience under her girth will improve second time out. The number 7 is Miss Impazzi, and Mission Impossible has gotten off to a very nice start as a stallion in New York.
Yeah, he led last year's freshman sire list. He's currently leading the juvenile sire list here in New York over Freud and Bellamy Road, a nice young unbridled song stallion who was a hard-hitting racehorse himself.
The dam won her career debut sprinting as a 2-year-old. She is a half to a stakes-winning turf sprinter named Redefined. So this filly has a good amount of speed on the bottom of her pedigree, based in Finger Lakes for high percentage trainer Chris Engelhardt. The number 3 is Rihanna Raya Dreams. Rihanna Raya Dreams sold for $30,000 back in May. She was 68-1 in her career debut. She didn't do much running, but perhaps she will improve with the addition of Lasix.
Yeah, and this is a national level sire, and yes, it's true. Definitely inserts some precocity, some speed into the pedigree, especially considering I think the female side is a little bit later blooming. Her Damn Perfect Energy was unraced at 2, a winner at 3, a stakes winner at 4. Only one of her foals so far is one as a 2-year-old, so I think we're really going to be leaning on that sire side to get that horse to show some speed early in her career.
It seems like a tough spot for the 3, Rihanna Raya Dreams. Perhaps she'll improve down the road with a little bit of distance and maybe a surface switch. That dam was a good stakes winner on turf. The 8 is Sayonara Rose, a $14,000 buyback as a yearling. And this first crop sire, Shanghai Bobby, was an extremely good 2-year-old.
Yeah, Shanghai Bobby won at distances from sprints very early in his 2-year-old year up until, the 2 turns of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, earned an Eclipse Award. He was so well regarded with his first yearlings, first 2-year-olds to come to the sales. Of course, they're expected to run early. He's starting to wake up now with his first crop on the track. He's up to 4 winners, and Sayonara Rose is the first foal out of an unraced mare. Broodmare sire Dixie Union is represented by a lot of Grade 1 winning 2-year-olds, including More Spirit, New Year's Day, Klimt, just a really interesting pedigree on both sides here.
A really classy pedigree, an intriguing horse, the 8 Sayonara Rose. I would advise folks to watch the board, 12-1 for trainer Michael Moreno, who's been known in the past to pop with a first-time starter. The 1-8 Taylor's the Boss is the other half of the coupled Midwest Thoroughbreds entry, and Taylor's the Boss is another one that sold up. A $40,000 weanling, went for $110,000 last year, and this sire Street Boss gets precocious early 2-year-olds.
Yeah, definitely. Just a really well-built, really nice horse from his sire line, and a lot of class on the female family as well. The dam produced a top-level runner in Panama. This is the family of Grade 1 winner Home at Last and a couple of other graded performers. This one, I think, might show some precocity, but I would like to see her going a furlong or two farther, I think.
I agree. I think this horse has a nice mixture with Street Boss on top and all of those stamina influences on the bottom. We'll see if Taylor's the Boss is the one that Midwest starts in this spot. The number 9 is As I Live and Breathe, a $12,000 buyback as a yearling, but by Union Rags, who did very, very well with his 2-year-olds last year.
Yeah, Union Rags checked in among last year's leading freshman sires in what's a really strong group of young stallions. Keep in mind that last year's freshman class included Bodemeister and McLean's Music, both of whom went on to sire Classic winners this year. Union Rags among the top horses in this group, and he really came out with his 2-year-old fillies, horses like Union Strike, and the Alcibiades winner, a couple of Grade 1 winning 2-year-old fillies last year. So a lot of class there. Union Rags, of course, best known for winning the Belmont, but was a Grade 1 winning juvenile himself.
And this broodmare sire, Good and Tough, was a hardy sprinter back in the day, I believe, for John Kimmel, and the Damn Mighty Good is related to several good sprint horses. She's thrown a couple of stakes placed horses, one multiple stakes winner in Miss Narcissus. So As I Live and Breathe might have some speed, and I like the fact that Jose Ortiz takes the mount. All right, pick time for our New York bred Spa Babies Wednesday race presented by WinStar Farm. Where are you going?
Well, you know, I think Miss Impazi is very interesting from a good 2-year-old family on both sides. And I think sometimes Engelhart comes out here from Finger Lakes with a sneaky good shipper. But as we've talked about, Dan, horses with experience seem to be doing well over the track in the early days of the meet. Breath of Dawn and Superstone, I think, both very much eligible to improve off their first experiences, where they both had troubled breaks, which are hard for these inexperienced 2-year-olds to recover from in sprints. And Climb the Ladder for Tom Morley, I don't think you can overlook at a price. Where are you going?
I'm really interested to see what we get out of either one of these Midwest first-time starters, preferably the one Trouble for Skylar, the Into Mischief filly. If she scratches, though, I might even lean to the other Midwest runner. That's the 1A Taylor's the Boss. I would use them along with either one of the Russell Cash entrants and perhaps the 6, a horse that you mentioned, Superstone, who should be real tight after that good debut. It's a really intriguing race. Our Spa Babies Wednesday event, race number 6. It has an approximate post time of 3:48 Eastern, and we'll see you later this week with more Spa Babies presented by WinStar Farm.